Hello YouTubers, this is Former to Free XJW here. As I am not officially out yet, I'm still not going to show my face. Well, I say I'm not officially out. I pretty much am. Because so far it's been months since I've been to a meeting. And then my biggest thing, well, two of my biggest things was, one, my in-laws needed to find out, which they know. They know we're moving away from them too. We moved to be close to them, and I moved away from a good job to be close to them, which, it wasn't a good thing. Fortunately, I'm getting my job back. Anyways, the only other person I gotta tell is my brother, which that's another story. So I'm gonna kind of follow up on what everybody was talking about this week, and that is Leah Remini's Scientology in the Aftermath, her special on Jehovah's Witnesses. What a great show that was. I mean, it was just fantastic. Yes, it turned out to be mostly sob stories. However, those are real stories, and the things that they produced and showed on that were real. You can't fake the video clips they showed from the governing body. You can't fake the Watchtower Wake articles that they quoted, because quite frankly, if you were to go and look those up yourself, I guarantee you would find it. And that was part of how my awakening process happened too, was I started watching YouTube videos, and whenever somebody would quote a Watchtower article or a wake or a scripture or whatever, I'm like, let me go verify that. Check it out. See if what they're saying is true. Because quite honestly, I was never the kind of witness that read everything. I rarely ever cracked open a Watchtower or Awake magazine, and yet I spent years peddling them out in the streets. So I started looking that up, finding out for myself, and being woefully surprised at the audacity of the organization. So anyways, back to the special. You could tell that Leah was truly shocked by some of the stuff she heard. At the beginning, it was, all I know is Jehovah's Witnesses are those people that come knocking at your door, and they're pleasant, and they are. Don't get me wrong. The witnesses are pleasant. So, yeah, there's that. And then, it continued on, and of course, I know some people out there like them, some people don't. But I happen to like Lloyd Evans, and his opening remark I actually found quite hilarious, just because of the misogynistic way the Jehovah's Witness organization deals with women. When he sat there and said, "Oh, it's nice to be led by a woman." Excuse me. And I tell you, that will never happen in the Jehovah's Witness religion. First of all, because they want to try to put into practice archaic forms of thinking, and second of all, because the men have the power in that organization, and so why would we change such a good thing and give it up? I don't see that happening. And then they touched on a lot of different subjects. It was just like what I remember me taking months to watch different videos and research over. It was just like all the bullet points of the last 6 months of my life were just bam, 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 and just thrown into 90 minutes. Now, don't get me wrong. They needed to do that, and here's why. Because if anybody out there has any interest in learning what the Jehovah's Witnesses are really like, they need to get a very fast-tracked version of what's really going on and the issues they're in. So anytime somebody has them come knocking on the door, they'll know what to talk about. They'll be like, you know, I saw that special with Leah Remini on TV. Is it true? Question. What about the Australian Royal Commission? What about blood transfusions? What about your two-witness rule and your hiding of pedophiles in the organization? And that's just the big mainstream things. And we're not even talking people that know any of the doctrine yet, which is, you know, just as messed up too. So, anyways, I thought it was very well done. I'm sincerely hoping that a lot of my JW friends check it out and do some thinking and really open up their minds and, you know, do the research on their own. And don't just take my word for it. Look it up. Paul Grundy's jwfacts.com. Excellent resource. I use that a lot myself. Also, Lloyd Evans' JW Survey website. Barbara Anderson, her Watchtower Documents website. Faithleaks.org. There's so many good websites out there. And the thing about all of them is they don't just say, well, you know, it's wrong because I think. They show you what the Watchtower Society says about their stuff. And they give you good reasoning. And it'll just blow your mind away, I guarantee you. Especially if you're a JWN right now and you're doubting. Please do your research. It's a high control group. I know a lot of people don't want to hear the word cult because of the negative connotation that it comes with. But let's just call it a high control group. And if you are a JW listening to this right now, think about the control they have on your life. They control how you comb your hair, what kind of clothes you wear, who you associate with, what you watch. You know, I always used to think, you know, well, if I am this good Christian, especially when I was a witness, you know, why is it that I can't watch this stuff? I know I'm not going to go out and do stuff that I see in a movie or something. It's just for entertainment, you know. But they want you to control every little aspect. They even want you to control what you think. Don't believe me? Go watch the bunker videos from the conventions in the last few years, and you'll see they want you to control your thoughts. And the big thing was on that one was negative thoughts. And really, they want you to control your negative thoughts about them. They don't care if you have negative thoughts about other groups. They don't want you to think negatively about them, because they're supposed to be their ultimate, you know, source of salvation. So control your thoughts about them. Oh, you can think Catholics are bad or Protestants are bad. It's okay if you do that, but don't think negatively about the witnesses. And if you ever did do that and you express it to anybody, oh my, no, that would never happen. Another subject I'd like to touch on real quick. I was thinking about this just today at work. One of the big things they don't want you to do is question, because their Watchtower magazines are made for you to read a paragraph and answer a question out of that paragraph and basically regurgitate what they tell you to say. you're not really speaking your own thoughts. You're speaking their thoughts. So I remember a couple times throughout my life, and of course, when these things happened, at the time, you're kind of like, whoa, that's pretty cool. But then at the same time, you're like, oh, you can't do that. When you have new ones come to the Kingdom Hall, and I remember this happened a couple times. I had somebody raise their hand, and they asked a question in the middle of the Watchtower study. The whole congregation just like froze in silence, like, how dare you ask a question? You know? And the brother on the platform would be like, we'll talk about that after the meeting, but for right now, we're just going to continue on discussing this. And of course, I don't ever remember that person getting their question answered. So right there, I mean, I was a kid, my parents were in at the time. You know, had I had any sense back then, I should have raised major red flags. Hey, you know, this ain't right. They don't want you to question. I mean, even when I got older, I remember I used to operate the sound booth. As a brother, a teenage boy, I loved audio equipment. So when I got to get into working the audio equipment at the Kingdom Hall, that was like awesome. I was in hog heaven there. And in our Kingdom Hall, we had a sound booth in the back by the foyer. It had a window so you could see out into the Kingdom Hall, the main area, but it also had a door. So you were kind of in a little closed room by yourself. I mean, you could hear a pin drop in there. And I remember, I don't know, I was probably 15, 16 at the time. I like to go out, stand right in front of the sound booth right there when we were singing the song, because I like to sing with the congregation. Oh, I had one brother come at me. You know, he was the head of the sound department. He goes, you need to stand in the sound booth while the songs are being sung. And I said, why? I like to stand out here and sing with the congregation. It's not like I'm not watching it. I'm right next to it. Oh, well, don't question me. Just do it. I'm just like, no. I never was that way. Even back then, I always, you know, I needed to have an answer for something. If it didn't make sense, I'm not just going to accept, oh, just listen to what I got to say and, you know, don't question me back, you know. And I'm glad that trait carried on with me later on in life. So really the point is, they don't want you to question. And that is how they keep their people indoctrinated. They keep them so busy that they don't have time to stop and think and question. And my friends, fellow J-Dubs, and even witnesses who might have a chance of listening to this video, please question everything. If it's true, it will stand up to scrutiny. Come and argue with me that 1 + 1 does not equal 2, because it's a fact. If it's true, it will stand up to scrutiny. If it's not true, whatever it is, it's going to crumble apart in a heartbeat. And you need to discern that for yourselves. I've discerned for myself that this is not the truth. This is not where I want to be. My wife is right along with me. My kids are on board. And we're going to press forward. And we're going to go live our lives and enjoy the freedom. So please, please check it out. Make sure what you're doing is right. Because if it's not right and you have any kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Of integrity. That's the word. If you have any kind of integrity, you will search and you will see that, hey, this is not the truth. And like I said, don't take my word for it. Do your own research. I've done mine. And if anybody needs somebody to talk to, please reach out to me in the comment section below. I'll be happy to talk with you. I don't mind making new friends. You know, as an ex-Jehovah's Witness, I feel that I have more compassion and more love for people than I did before, because my love is no longer conditional. My love for you, my friends, is out of the goodness of my heart to help you out. And I'm not looking for anything. I have my own job. I make a living. I'm not looking for money. I'm not looking for fame. I just want to help people out. So anybody out there listening to this, go ahead, hit me up, and I'll be there for you as much as I can. Anyways, my friends, that's all I got time for tonight. Y'all take care, and I'll catch you later. Bye.